on Amazon Music.
Do I, Poseidon, king of the ocean, eat fish sticks? Is water wet? I only trust Gordon's, made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock. And Wild is Poseidon's middle name. Just kidding, it's actually Brian. Trust the Gortons, fisherman!
I'm not ready to lose my hair. Not now. But I never thought there was a real solution. Now I use Keeps, the easiest way to keep my hair. And I can get my treatment without leaving the couch. Keeps. Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
Today, more funerals scheduled for the victims of the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh. The president and first lady paying their respects yesterday, visiting a victim's widow and first responders in the hospital. Our next guest calls the politicization of the left toxic. His name is Jeff Balaban. He is a member of the Trump Advisory Board and an Orthodox Jew, and he joins us now. Thank you so much, Jeff, for being with us.
Good morning.
This has turned in, it's been so politicized. It's so political. What's your reaction to that?
It's just pure pain. I mean, like many Orthodox Jews, we found out about the news many hours later, and our first...
Because of the Sabbath.
Because of the Sabbath, yes, that's right, thank you. And our first introduction to the news was through a very hostile political filter. And it was bewildering, and all you wanted to do was mourn. And you couldn't because you were being bombarded with overtly hostile political messages, and it's been terrible.
You mentioned during the break that you were speaking to students yesterday. What was their reaction and your message to them?
Yeah, I was speaking to a group of students last night, just generally about the political atmosphere, not specifically about this, group of Jewish students. And a young woman asked me a question. There's like pleading in her eyes and her voice. Said, you know, our country's become so polarized. Do we think that something this shocking might bring us together? And I didn't know what to say to her because I don't see that. There seems to be no humanity left in this debate, in this process. And say you disagree with this president on a number of issues, it's really impossible not to see how much he cares about Israel and the Jewish people. It's impossible. And in fact, that seems to be driving so much of the politicization, so much of the lies about him and calling him names and arguing that he doesn't like us. And then it flipped on itself because it's so obvious that he cares about Jews that yesterday, and this was when I say there's almost no limits, there were so-called Jewish groups, people who call themselves as though they're speaking for Jews, saying not only shouldn't he come to Pittsburgh, but saying those who support him, Jews who support him, shouldn't be welcome in our synagogues. That's insane. That's the opposite of the reaction to something like this. Never in our history, well, I can't say that. I'm not aware of any time in my life that a tragedy like this would separate Jews as opposed to bring us together. And I think it's just symbolic of where our nation as a whole has become.
You can see the president there and the first lady. They're putting white stones from the White House and white roses on each of the stars to remember the victims. Jared was there as well, so was Ivanka. Why was it important for you as an Orthodox Jew to see him there and the first lady there and his family?
Well, I want to say this. I want to take away the word Orthodox in that, just to begin with, because this is something that unites us all. Those divisions are theological divisions. They have nothing to do with the fact that Jews are not just a faith, but really a family, and that's really the emotion. And that's what's being lost here, which is what's so terrifying to me, because it can't be lost. And it is very important. The presence of Jewish family members that close to the President of the United States, it's obviously unprecedented. The fact that, and people keep on repeating it, the fact that the President has Jewish children, Jewish grandchildren, the fact that his grandchildren are the great-grandchildren of Holocaust survivors, of course it personalizes it. And I get the terrible sense that it's ratcheting up the anti-Trump rhetoric even more, as though to try to demonize him, as opposed to look at the obvious. He's clearly supportive of the Jewish people. He's clearly supportive of Israel. It's one of these things this evil, horrible person was apparently angry about, that the president is too good to Jews in Israel.
Jeff, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Still ahead, Nancy Pelosi is sounding pretty confident about the midterms. Listen.
Let me say this. Up until today, I would have said if the election were held today, we would win. Now I'm saying is we will win.
So what happens if they don't win, if the blue wave comes crashing down? Plus, young voters are expected to turn out in record numbers in just 6 days. So how do they feel about the caravan?
I think we should let them in.
I think it's diversity creates strength.
I mean, I feel like it's not really that big of a problem.
We stole this land anyway.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies, go down dark alleys. Lose yourself, catch a lift. Push boundaries. Go walkabout. Get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
People with type 2 diabetes are excited about the potential of once-weekly Ozempic. In a study with Ozempic, a majority of adults lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7 and maintained it.
Oh, under 7?
And you may lose weight. In the same one-year study, adults lost on average up to 12 pounds.
Oh, up to 12 pounds?
A 2-year study showed that Ozempic does not increase the risk of major cardiovascular events like heart attack, stroke, or death.
Oh, no increased risk?
Oh.
Ozempic should not be the first medicine for treating diabetes or for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase the risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
I discovered the potential with Ozempic.
Ask your healthcare provider if Ozempic is right for you.
The sheet reinvented, ridiculously soft. Chic's Performance Sheets, delivering the ultimate deep sleep experience.
If technical fabrics can improve athletic performance, why can't we apply that same concept to sheets?
Traditional cotton sheets trap heat and moisture, but Chic's patented fabrics transfer heat 2 times more effectively, breathe nearly 50% better, and wick moisture.
You sweat a little bit every single night, and Chic's will help keep you cool.
Chic's are wrinkle-free, have stay-fit corners, and best of all, Chic's feel ridiculously soft.
They're so much softer than any other sheet I've ever had.
Every time you climb into bed, you'll experience the Chic's sensation. Call or go to trychic's.com now to order your Chic's Performance Sheet set. You'll get 25% off when you use the promo code on your screen. Act now to get free shipping. Sleep on Chic's for 30 nights, and if you're not satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. Go online now for amazing savings plus free shipping and see how Chic's delivers the ultimate deep sleep experience.
Well, singing about blue, let's talk about that blue wave. Is there going to be a blue wave
That was an
sweeping
appropriate song.
over the United States of America? Who will be the next Speaker of the House? Would it be Nancy Pelosi? She sure hopes so.
She was on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and this is what she had to say. She's very confident that the Democrats are going to win. And listen to his reaction.
Let me say this. Up until today, I would have said if the election were held today, we would win. Now I'm saying is we will win. We will win. We will win.
Please don't say that.
We will win.
Please don't say that. Do you want to say that on Hillary's fireworks barge that she canceled? Please don't say that.
We will win. We own the ground.
He's saying don't jinx it. Please don't say that.
Because nobody can actually say that. I know they have internal polls, but you have 435 races. And I know the crystal ball for Larry Sabato has 20 to 21 toss-up seats. You need to get to 218. Neither side have it. And if you watched the last election, I don't know if you heard, but the president was within the margin of error in all the states he ended up winning. And that's why he won.
And that's why she had to cancel the fireworks.
Yes. Stephen Colbert said after she said that, he said, I feel like I should sacrifice a goat or something to take the hex off of what you just said. Right. Meanwhile,
he's superstitious.
That's right. Barbara Streisand was talking to the New York Times, and she was talking a little bit about whether or not the Republicans would lose control of the House. And she said, essentially, she's thinking about if they do keep control of the House, perhaps moving to Canada.
And she blamed the president for gaining weight. She said every time she
said, it's making me fat. I hear what he said now, and I have to go eat pancakes now. And pancakes are very fattening. We make them with healthy flour, though, almond flour and coconut flour. Sound delicious.
And by the way, there's a list of celebrities that said they will move after the results of the last election. Let's see how they're doing. Barbara Streisand still here. Amy Schumer, couldn't tell you. Jon Stewart still got a farm here. Chelsea Handler, I believe she's tweeting from America. Neve Campbell, is she on 30-something?
She was on Scream. She was in Scream.
Okay. Lena Dunham, Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, they all should have gone.
Amber Rose, Whoopi Goldberg, Miley Cyrus.
We'll see.
And the number of celebrities who actually moved after the 2016 election, 0, we believe. Meanwhile, John McLaughlin, there you go, 0 over the Hollywood sign. John McLaughlin, former Trump campaign pollster, says ultimately for both sides, with 6 days to go, it all comes down to one thing: turnout.
The election really depends upon a turnout for the rest of this week and on Tuesday, because the early voting states, you can see the Republicans are doing better than they're doing about what they did in 16 in Florida, but not as well as they did in 14, because the Democrats in the anti-Trump vote are coming out a little bit better. So we really have to watch that. Plus, you can't let up on Election Day. Remember, everybody was saying a year ago when you had Virginia and Alabama, they were saying, gee, the Democrats won't come out, we'll get our vote out, it'll be usual turnout.